Welcome to the Mind Body Eating Coach Certification Training Live Event Series. I'm Marc David, founder of the Institute for the Psychology of Eating. Thank you for joining me. For those of you that don't already know, this week I'll be presenting topics that are relevant to our unique training. We'll be talking about the business of coaching as well as interviews with some of our graduates who are doing great work in the world. So I really appreciate your time. I appreciate your interest and enthusiasm for this work. I'm going to do everything I can to make these sessions informative and worth your while. Today's topic is the Mind Body Eating Coach. Align your work and your values, market yourself authentically, and build a practice that pays. So what that means is I'll be sharing with you about our unique training. I'll specifically focus on how to be financially successful as a coach and how we help build your practice the right way. So this is all about the business side of coaching. Consider this conversation for you if you're an already existing practitioner and you're simply looking to expand your scope of practice, or if you're a first-time coach and you're thinking about jumping in and becoming a mind-body eating coach. That's the kind of coach that we are training in. So brief reminder for those of you that don't know me, I'm the author of two well-loved books in the fields of eating psychology and nutrition, Nourishing Wisdom and The Slow Down Diet. These have been translated into over 9 languages. I've been a consultant in health, wellness, and education for many Fortune 500 companies that you've heard of. I've been in practice as a clinician and coach for over 4 decades now. And I've been fortunate enough to spend really thousands of client hours with people from all walks of life. My work has been featured in hundreds of different media outlets over the years, CNN, NBC, New York Times. I've lectured literally thousands of times in my career, and I founded the Institute for the Psychology of Eating in 2007. And its mission is to help people heal and transform their lives when it comes to their food and body challenges. So I've trained thousands of coaches in our unique and effective approach. Our online events, by the way, and programs to the public have been attended by hundreds of thousands of people. We reach millions through Facebook and other social media platforms. I feel really fortunate to be doing this work and to really have had a good impact. I developed the field of eating psychology really out of inspired need. I noticed very on in my own coaching practice when I was in my late teens, back in the late 70s, early 80s, that no matter how smart and how motivated my clients were, no matter how much nutrition information and guidance I gave them, I was unable to really help people with eating challenges like overeating and binge eating and emotional eating and body image concerns and food worry and people who were endlessly dieting. So I realized in order for me to help people, I needed to understand the mind of the eater. So of course, the best way to do that is to take a course or read a book, and turns out there weren't any. Yes, I could learn about eating disorders at that time. There was already books being written on the topic, but those are extreme cases that impact a few percent of the population. I'm talking about extreme anorexia, extreme bulimia, extreme obesity. But what about the rest of us? What about the other 98% of people who, don't have an eating disorder but want to lose some weight? They want to stop emotional eating or binge eating or overeating. So for me at a young age, I decided I'd eventually write the book I wanted to read, and I would create the training that I wish I could have been a student in. So I want to say mission accomplished. By the way, before I dive in, please feel free to introduce yourself in the comments section. Say hi, let me know where you're from. You could also ask questions there and we'll do our best to respond to you. Okay, the business of coaching. I believe that the number one secret to professional and financial success is actually really simple when it comes to coaching. Offer something of great value to the world. Really. When you offer something of great value, think about it, you deserve great value in return. Not only is it a basic law of economics, I believe it's a deeper law of the universe. It's really the foundational principle to attracting wealth, money, energy into your life. when we give great value, we deserve great value in return. Really, how could it be any other way? Unfortunately, we live in a world where we're constantly being marketed at and bombarded with advertisements for products and services that are sort of the equivalent of junk food, and there's not a lot of real value that gets circulated in so much of what's being sold out there. But the good news is, offering something of real value, it puts you on the high road. It places you in alignment with a greater good. People are smart and they're getting smarter. We recognize when something of value is in front of us. I've created this training to give you the tools, the understanding, the distinctions, the maps, the protocols to give your clients and patients great value, plain and simple. Remember, a mind-body eating coach is specifically trained to effectively work with weight, body image, overeating, binge eating, emotional eating, endless dieting, constant food worry, along with health concerns that have a mind-body nutrition component like digestion, energy and fatigue, mood and immunity. So this requires that you learn a lot of information, but the value you'll be learning and the value you'll be offering your clients goes beyond just information. And here's what I mean. We live in the information age. You and I have access to a tremendous amount of information via internet, via Google. And as it relates to the topics of health and weight and nutrition and unwanted eating challenges, you can Google information from now until the end of time, and you can keep accumulating more facts. But more facts and more information don't necessarily move the needle for most people. How many times have you heard somebody say, have I heard somebody say, I know what I'm supposed to do, I know what I'm supposed to eat, I just don't do it. So, something deeper is going on. And this is a mistake, I think, that a lot of health coaches and health practitioners make. They think that if they can hurl more and more facts at their clients, I'm going to just learn tons of facts and I'm going to hurl those facts at my clients, and that's going to make the difference people are searching for. But I'm going to tell you it rarely does. When I was 24 years old, I was in a graduate program in psychology in California, and I had an epiphany that changed my life, and especially my professional life forever. I was reading a book that was written in 1980. It was called Megatrends, and the book listed 10 trends that it predicted would be important and powerful over the next 50 years. And one of those trends was that we were entering an information age. So this is before the computers hit. So we're entering an information age, and we have and will have access to a tremendous amount of information. So here's the epiphany that changed my life that I read in this book. And basically what this trend was, what it said is, in times of excess amounts of information and facts, the value of wisdom skyrockets. I just love that. In times of excessive amounts of information and facts, the value of wisdom skyrockets. And by wisdom, really what we mean is a deeper understanding, honest truths, real answers, a higher level of awareness, a more nuanced and holistic way of seeing things, mature insights, and a deeper knowledge that truly helps us grow and heal and transform. We're being bombarded with excessive amounts of information, again, particularly in the realm of health and nutrition and weight and even personal growth. But when you've learned a deeper wisdom that you can share with your clients, you've already separated yourself from the professional crowd, you're unique in the coaching space, and you can command greater value, i.e. a greater income. And this is a key highlight of the Mind Body Eating Coach Certification Training. You're not just learning all the appropriate, useful information. Yeah, you're going to get the information. You're going to get the facts. You're going to get the skills and the tools and the protocols. You're also learning how to tap into your wisdom as a coach. You're learning to work with clients in a deeper way. You gain an understanding of how to work with each client in an approach that's unique to them. You're learning coaching skills and counseling skills that are powerful and effective. You learn how to work with different age groups, different life stages, different archetypes. You learn how to get to the root cause of what is holding your client back. You know, so many people who wish to get into coaching, they become hesitant because they think that they personally, if I'm going to get into coaching, I need to be perfect. And when I say perfect, I mean that people often believe they have to have the perfect body, the perfect weight, they're eating the perfect diet, and their overall health, as well as all their health habits, are just pristine and perfect. I want to put this concept to rest right away. And this is an important thing for you as a business person, because you need to have confidence to command value. You need to believe in yourself to command value. And one of the ways you gain confidence and you believe in yourself is not just by having a good education, but by understanding that you don't need to be perfect to help another human being. You don't need to be perfect to help another human being, not only when it comes to their health, their weight, their eating challenges, but in any domain of life. Think about it. You only need to be 1 or 2 steps ahead of somebody to be of service to them. That's the beauty of this training, and quite frankly, I think it's the beauty of life. We are wonderfully imperfect creatures, every one of us. Time to embrace that. So the training is designed such that you learn how to help others while you work on transforming your own relationship with food and body. I will say that it's virtually impossible to go through this training without having your own personal breakthroughs. In fact, it's your own challenges with food and body that actually helps qualify you to do this kind of work. Your journey qualifies you. So many of us, myself included, we get into this work, we get into the work of helping others with their food and body challenges because we have faced or are facing our own. So let's just embrace that we're all a work in progress and it's okay. So let go of the need to be perfect. Just be human. Empower yourself by acknowledging that this is how life truly works. We're all helping each other along the way as we grow. You know, I think that one of the reasons that so many people believe they need to be perfect to be a coach is that they get online, they go on social media, and they see I'm going to put it in air quotes, the glamorous world of health coaching. You can go on, Facebook, Instagram, any social media platform, and you can quickly find people who are marketing themselves as fabulous and flawless and wealthy and free of all body fat and super fit and, abs of steel or whatever. And they seemingly have created great success with perfect ease. And my friends, do yourself a favor and stop focusing on such people as if they are the gold standard of a health coach. They are not. That's one way to market yourself, and it's generally not quite realistic, and quite frankly, it's not always honest, what you're seeing. So let me state this in the positive. You don't need to be perfect to market yourself and find your audience and your natural clientele. So yes, there are some clients who want to work with a glamorous looking health coach. Great. But that's personally not my kind of client, nor does it need to be yours. It's a small percentage of people who are wanting to work with Mr. or Miss Fabulous Health Coach, Mr. or Miss Perfect. In my experience, most people want to work with somebody they can identify with, or someone that they naturally feel, I can trust you, someone they feel safe with, someone who inspires them, someone who might be more like them. There's an inner game to practice building, an inner world that has its own rules and its own guidelines. And to me, one of the hidden rules of the inner game of practice building it's this. Every coach has an already existing invisible clientele. Every coach or every coach to be, every coach in training, you might not know it and you can't see it, but you have an invisible clientele and they're waiting. Meaning they're an already existing audience just for you, designed for you. And that's the best match for you and the best match for them. And again, you can't initially see them, but they are there. And it's our job to do what we need to do on our end to gradually invite in our invisible clientele. You know, there's people who, they don't want to work with me. They'd much rather work with you because they're drawn to who they're drawn to. They might be attracted to you because you're the same sex, the same nationality, the same religious background, a similar age, something about you, whatever it is. Please trust that. Please trust that if you're drawn to helping other human beings, you'll eventually find them and they'll eventually find you. So I'm just talking about the inner game before we get into all the practical details. Another piece of the inner game, as well as the practical details that we teach you in our training. So everything that I'm talking about now, we go in depth into in the training, in our business coaching module, in our business coaching calls. One of the things that we teach you that's very important is to please, please, please market yourself authentically. Market yourself authentically. Who was it? Oscar Wilde once said, "Be yourself. Everybody else is already taken." I think there's a great wisdom in that. It really gets back to the false belief that I need to be perfectly this or that, or we need to be someone who we're not in order to be successful, in this case as a health coach. So marketing yourself authentically means you communicate to the world in a way that's natural to you and that truly reflects who you are and what you're about. So you're kind of being you. Let me explain further. Contrary to what you might have read online, there is no one single formula for how to market yourself and build your practice. I'm going to tell you, it annoys me because there's a lot of people making a lot of money telling coaches, practitioners, how to build a 6-figure practice, and they give everybody the same formula. I'm just not a big fan of this approach. I don't see it work consistently for people, and I just don't trust a one-size-fits-all approach. Yeah, it's going to work for some people. You just throw enough spaghetti on the wall and it's going to hit. But marketing yourself authentically means you take stock of who you are, your preferences, your propensities, your likes and dislikes, your personality, your preferences, and you look to market yourself from that place. In other words, you don't have to write a blog if you truly don't like writing. You're free. You don't need to make well-crafted videos if you truly don't wish to be on video. In fact, I know plenty of professionals who in this day and age have built very successful private practices without any online presence other than a basic website and a little scheduling system. There's so many possibilities here. Marketing yourself authentically means you speak honestly to your audience. You don't need to make false promises. You don't need to sound flashy. You just need to sound like you. Sure, of course, you might need to get more polished in how you present yourself, how you communicate who you are, what you do, what you're all about. So yes, you're going to learn how to do that, but really what that is that's about being a better version of yourself. It's not about trying to be someone else. That's the trap so many people fall into. We're trying to be somebody else, trying to follow the formula that we read online or that the experts are telling us that we have to do. You got to have your blog, you got to have your videos, you got whatever it is. Now, think of it this way. Marketing is like a conversation. Building your practice, building your business is literally a conversation. And in the best conversations, you talk about what inspires you. So let's say you're in a conversation that you initiate with somebody and that you meet at a party or you meet at a dinner and you're talking about something, you choose to talk about something that bores you. What do you think the person on the other side is experiencing? Most likely boredom. It's when you speak about what's inspiring you, people are going to start to catch that light. They're going to catch that energy. They're going to catch that fire. Once you finish this training, you'll be far more clear about what inspires you to talk about relative to the things you're going to learn around weight and body image, overeating, binge eating, emotional eating, endless dieting, eating psychology, mind, body, nutrition. There's so many subtopics. It would literally take an hour for me just to list them out. And then from there, you begin to choose how you wish to be in conversation with people. In other words, what juices you up when you talk about it. So our grads do it in so many different ways. You might start a free Facebook group online and talk about weight loss and menopause because that's what inspires you. Or in that free Facebook group, you might be talking about body acceptance. Or you might be talking about a holistic approach to emotional eating. Or you might be talking about whatever it is. You might give public talks about binge eating or about sugar addiction. You might create audios and put them out as a podcast and be talking about food allergies or a mind-body approach to digestive health or how stress impacts weight. Yeah, you might like to write, so you might create a blog about how to transform your kitchen and get more connected and excited about cooking. If you come from a country that's, a non-English speaking country, you can create audios, videos, or a blog or any kind of specialized group or online group in your native language. I mean, how good is that? But it's all a conversation, and you start that conversation for free. So we're living in a time when you see, you go on somebody's website and free report, free audio, free video, free ebook, free whatever. So really what that person is who's marketing to you is saying is, here's a conversation that I'm offering you for free. Are you interested in this conversation? If you're check it out and see what you think. So it's literally, you're speaking to people. You're giving away value by talking about a topic that lights you up and gives you energy. So once again, you're not doing anything that isn't natural to you, that isn't organic to you. And for a lot of us, we need to try different avenues. We need to try different platforms to see what we like. Public speaking might not be your forte. Yet I know a lot of people who choose to do more public speaking and learn public speaking because it's a great skill. And it helps you gain more confidence just as a person, as a professional, puts you in front of more potential clients. And it's also a great way to gradually learn to become a teacher. It's a great way to gradually learn how to work with groups. And like I said, just to build your overall self-expression as a person. It's so good. There's another important practice building key that we teach about in the training that I want to mention, and it's this. Grow your business organically. I love shopping at the health food store or the supermarket, and I love organic foods. I love organic fruits and vegetables. If I have my choice, I'd buy organic everything because there's something good about it. There's something wholesome about it. It's the right way. It's the natural way. Growing your business organically, so a business organically, means what? First of all, it means that there's no rush. It means that you don't put artificial pressure on you. It means that you relax into the journey of building your practice. It means that you don't initially, as soon as you graduate, say, my livelihood 100% has to come from my practice the moment I graduate. That's not realistic for most people. I always tell people, consider your first year of practice after you graduate. It's like you're in training, you're in continuing education. You're learning as you go along in terms of working with clients, building your practice, you're growing your income. You want to grow a garden, you want to grow tomatoes, and you plant them, water them, put them in the sun, give them some natural fertilizer, but don't stand over the tomato plant and yell at it. Don't stand over it and judge it if it's not growing fast enough. Don't stand over it and insult it when it starts growing and it's green and it's not orange yet. So that's what happens. That's kind of what it sounds like when we're not growing something organically, when we're not growing ourselves organically, when we're not growing our business from that place. Too many people try to force growth. They have unrealistic expectations about, in any profession, about how practice building works. And unfortunately, that comes from a number of coaching programs that just make huge promises. If you're a doctor, if you're a dentist, if you have doctors or dentists in your family who are in private practice, it takes time. Amazon. I love Amazon. Amazon has made my life so easy. I buy so many things on Amazon. It took them 14 years to earn a penny in profit before they earn their first money as profit. 14 years. Now, coaching is not going to take you that long. You could be earning profit literally out of the gate. But all I'm saying is you don't need to be in an artificial rush. And again, I'm going to say part of it comes from the false promises that so many people have heard. The good news is there are plenty of people out there who can create a six-figure income in their first year of practice. I've seen it plenty of times. And if that's the bar that feels right to set for yourself, go for it. That's the beauty of the coaching professions. You can create a great income in a short amount of time based on your skill and based on your efforts. I just want you to create a reasonable expectation that matches you. Some of the best advice I can give coaches, and a lot of my graduates come back and thank me for this, for saying this, and it's play a long game when it comes to being a coach. Play a long game. What does playing a long game mean? It means you're growing organically. It means you refine your craft. You get better at what you do. You get more and more in touch with your unique way of expressing yourself. You get more and more in touch with your greatest gifts and strengths. You learn on the job, trial and error, trial and success. You be excited to be a lifelong learner. Yes, once again, you can make a lot of money in a short period of time. But at the same time, this is a paradox, be willing for your business to take as long as it needs to get where you want it to go. By the way, that's how I work with a client. And I'll even say this to a client. I'll say to my client in a first session, listen, I want you to get the results that you want yesterday. I want you to get where you want to go tomorrow, as fast as possible. And I'm willing for it to take as long as it needs to take. So the beautiful paradox is, yes, I want you to have success quickly. Yes, I want my client to have success quickly. And at the same time, I'm willing for it to take as long as it needs to because life has its magic. Life, as I've seen, rewards us for consistent effort. Life rewards us for helping make the world a better place. More practical details. One of the greatest ways to build your practice that you're going to learn about in the training is to do so, check this out, by word of mouth. So many people underestimate this, meaning the moment you graduate, you start with the circle of people that you already know. Your friends, your family, your loved ones, coworkers, business contacts, any acquaintances that you have who will respond to an email that you send out, or there's a darn good chance they're going to respond to the email that you send out. And in that email, you let people know, hey, it's me. It's wonderful me. I just graduated from the Institute for the Psychology of Eating, this amazing training, and I've learned to work with all these different food and body challenges. And here's the ones I'm specifically working with. And do me a favor, if you know anybody who needs help around weight or body image, overeating, binge eating, emotional eating, dieting. Did I say weight, digestion, mood, energy, and fatigue? Please pass my information along to them. Let them know about my services. Forward this email to them. I'm offering a free first session. I cannot tell you how many people have built a successful practice just starting with who they know. You use the resource that you already have, and I promise you, you underestimate it, chances are. You know, our optional business building module, along with our live practice building Zoom calls, are your opportunity in the training to learn what I've been talking about and so much more. Our business module is very extensive, helps you with all the practical details of practice management, business building, social media marketing, attracting new clients, so much more. In our live calls, you can ask questions, you can share your concerns, your successes, hear from fellow learners, hear what's working for them. You could also ask and receive support from our staff and our Facebook group. I've been focusing this conversation on people who wish to use this training to build a private practice, but be aware that you can also use this unique training in many other ways. You can lead small groups, you can teach, you can create your own online or live programs, you can work with people in person, you can work remotely, you can be part of a group practice and work under a physician. You can specialize in specific populations, age groups, or certain food and body challenges. You can create a part-time side gig, or this can be a full-time practice. And if you've already been trained in another or other modalities, you can combine this training with what you previously learned and create your own unique way of working with people. So many of our already existing practitioners who take this training, they'll combine it if they'll combine eating psychology work, if they're an acupuncturist, if they're a psychologist, if they're a hypnotherapist. Some people just work with transforming your kitchen and they'll use eating psychology to help people in that realm. Some people are strictly working in the fitness realm and they're combining eating psychology with fitness. That's a great one. So we do have quite a number of students take our training who have never worked as a coach or any other kind of practitioner. And we have a significant number of students who are dietitians, nutritionists, psychologists, counselors, nurses, social workers, fitness professionals, doctors, so much more. And for those people who take our training, they'll notice in the first handful of weeks or less that their practice transforms, their success with clients transforms, their client compliance and happiness transforms. Let's talk about money. Money is so often the bottom line, and being a mind-body eating coach is an amazing way to make a living. You can set your own hours, you can work online from anywhere in the world, you can have a worldwide clientele, you can be on a Zoom call with a client and be barefoot and they'll never know it. That to me, might be one of the greatest things about working online with a client. And you have all the say in choosing what you're going to charge money-wise. So it's up to you in terms of how far you want to take your career and your earnings. So we have graduates who, again, use this training to create a side gig and they earn at their leisure. We have graduates who are making well into the six figures. You can charge simply by the hour, or you can sell 6-month and even year-long packages. Graduates who charge by the hour average between $120 to $300 per hour. Those who sell packages, gosh, you can charge anywhere from $3,000 for a package to $30,000 and even more, depending obviously on the length of time, the number of sessions, and practitioner experience. So in many ways, being a coach is about empowering yourself to be the best version of who you came here to be. That includes your skill level, your mastery at helping people, creating the lifestyle and the work style that you want, and having financial success, all while helping other human beings, helping them create lasting and significant change. To me, that's a dream. When I can help another human being and make good money at it, then that's a career worth living for. That to me is a life worth living for. Here's what I've noticed. When you compare life coaching to health coaching, So compare life coaching to health coaching. What I'm going to tell you, and some of you have noticed this, life coaches can generally charge more. Clients will pay more for life coaching, and many life coach trainings themselves are significantly more costly than a typical health coach training. Do a little online search for yourself and you'll see what I'm talking about. So people will pay more for what life coaching is at its best, which is transformational coaching. Well, here's the thing. The beauty of this training, the Mind Body Eating Coach Certification training, is that we're unique in that we're a hybrid of a health coach and a life coach training. We combine eating psychology, nutrition, health coaching, life coaching, and transformational tools that make a powerful difference in people's lives. So the people who are challenged by weight and body image and overeating and binge eating and emotional eating and lifelong dieting, they're usually in need of some amount of health and nutrition coaching, but they need far, far more than a bunch of nutrition facts and a bunch of health facts. So they need you as a coach who can understand their inner world, understand their psychology, understand their emotional metabolism, understand their personal life, their deeper experience with work, career, money, relationships, intimacy, sexuality, spirituality, meaning, purpose, so much more. Once you can see the hidden connections between your client's eating challenges and the other life domains that I just mentioned, real transformation is finally possible. Helping another human being overcome their pain and suffering around their eating concerns is amazingly liberating for your client. It is life-changing. The clouds part, the sun shines, so much goodness happens when we help our client transform their food and body concerns. They feel great, you feel great, and that, my friends, is priceless. And that sets you apart from every other health coach out there. And it certainly sets you apart from every other life coach out there because you're offering something that's specific, that's needed, and that has profound transformational value on a personal level and on a metabolic level. You know, I think that by far the best investment you can ever make, it isn't in the stock market, it's not in Bitcoin, it's not in any kind of get-rich-quick scheme. Best investment you and I can make, it's in yourself. In making yourself a better human, a more wise and knowledgeable and skilled person, the best investment you can make is in an education that not only helps you grow and transform, but enables you to help others do the same while you make good money at it. That to me is a great way to invest your time, your energy, your money, your valuable life force. So, my friends, let's finish up with a few important updates and reminders. Tomorrow, Thursday, our student support teacher and trained psychotherapist, Stephanie Mara, will be leading our third live stream. She'll be interviewing several of our graduates from the training. You'll get to hear about what some of our grads are up to, how they've used this unique training. You know, as always, you'll find the replays for all these live streams on Facebook or in YouTube. Of course, if what you've heard these last couple of days is resonating for you and you're interested in joining us, I highly encourage you to go ahead and apply now for the training. We're gonna drop a link for the application here in the comments section. So the application deadline for this upcoming June 2022 training, so the application deadline is June 8th, so it's coming up. It's another week. There's no cost to you to apply. There's no obligation to enroll when you do apply. Your application is good for 1 year from the date of applying. Once you're accepted, by the way, you'll then have until June 10th, another few days, to make a final decision on whether you'll be joining us this June. So again, we're dropping in a link for the application. And we're also going to drop in a link for those of you who would like to check out our school catalog. It has a ton of information in it. You can also, if you want more information, you can set up a call with one of our enrollment advisors. Hopefully we can drop a link in for that as well. Our enrollment advisors, happy to get on the phone with you, happy to get on Zoom And don't worry, I'm not going to try to push you or sell you. We want to inform you and help you make the choice that's best for you. You can also email us at info@psychologyofeating.com and ask any questions in that way. I appreciate everybody who showed up. I appreciate everybody who said hi. My friends, more to come this week and next. Thank you so much for your time, your energy, your interest in this work. I hope to see more of you, and of course, I hope to meet you in the training. Take care, my friends.